Guys, listen, whether you're solo queue, you're 5-stacked, whether you're a copper or you're champion, these are my best defenders in Rainbow Six Siege for you. And before we get started, there's no such thing as like the best defender in Siege. There's just really strong ones right now. So in this current season, I will explain to you guys why I think you should be playing these operators. Now, this is not in any particular order, but rather I just want to show you guys. So first, guys, Fenrir. Fenrir is literally getting banned almost every single match, but he is really strong because he's the most annoying trap to go up against. You are literally blocked. Your vision is blocked and your sound. So you're literally a crippled wiener, literally like a turd in the wind, as Venom says. But yeah, it's stronger than Malusi. It's certainly probably the most annoying trap right now. And he's got a bailiff. He can make rotates. He's got a good gun. Overall, he's just a very, like, he could, even if he's dead, bro, his traps just do so much. So another one right behind, like most of the new defenders are all strong. Solus, guys. So Solus, obviously, because you can collect pre-placed drones, she can see when someone's on cam, so it gives her that little bit of edge that wins people in the gunfight and even leads to her being misdroned. So 100%, like Solus, I would say is best used for roaming, maybe for sight, but obviously on the roam, if you're solo queue or 5-stack, it's literally like you're getting info that you normally wouldn't get from your teammates. Next, dude, Azami. Like, why are you not playing Azami? Azami is literally creating angles out of thin air. Out of thin air. Now, if you want to see how is the best way to play all these operators, I recommend you just kind of look through my YouTube videos or my stream. I play Fenrir when he's not banned. I use Souls a lot, especially in the solo queue to the Pistol Champion, which is on the second channel. So go check that on there. Azami, though, bro, like, you guys know my Azami setups. If you watch my TikToks, my shorts, even my YouTube videos, dude, Azami is like so strong right now because, like I said, she can make angles out of thin air. My best tips for you with Azami is definitely to create one-way angles, which are basically where you can see their feet, but when they're standing, they can't see you. They can only see the ground. 100% try it. Try this, you know, whatever the bomb site is. Best place to play Azami is definitely in between their starting point and the objective they're trying to do. So the objective could be like trying to get a wall open. Maybe they're trying to get a certain piece of map control. You are like the safeguard. You don't want them to get that control. If anything, you want to delay it. Next, dude, Thorn, guys. Thorn. She's literally like another really strong trap operator right behind Fenrir, because the way that her traps work is like a frost mat. You have to either fight the Thorn trap or fight me. Most of the time, I'm actually not really nearby my Thorns, but still, it acts as it throws their cross replacement off and their intention is drawn somewhere else. So if it's used correctly, right when they think they're about, oh, sight's good, or maybe I can enter this piece of bomb site without being detected, boom, Thorn Trap is there to welcome them and put some Thorn Traps in their skin. 100% recommend Thorn. Super strong shotgun on close range, especially the Consulate rework. Guys, use Thorn on Consulate rework. She's so strong. Shield and barbed wire, like, with this quote-unquote TDM meta, that's why I'm saying all these trap operators. You have to understand, when you have trap operators, whether you're solo queue or 5-stack, no matter what rank you are, you get one thing that is very consistent, and if it's placed correctly, it gives you information. Now, this information is the same information that you would get from your teammates, default cams, sound cues, but traps do it all. And the best part about them is that you can rely on them, because as long as they're still there, you don't have to turn your back to whatever you're trying to do. So that's why I'm always recommending like Thorn, Azami, and Fenrir, because they have really good guns, and not only good guns, but their utility is round changing. Now, next, I would recommend Wamai. Wamai has a 1.5. He's basically Jaeger with a 1.5. One thing about Jaeger is he doesn't have any barbed wire anymore, but Wamai has impacts or proxies. I recommend running proxies on large bomb sites. If you know you're not going up against an OSA or a shield operator, which is kind of rare, use the impacts maybe for rotates, but the rotates should be going to the shotgun players, people with bailiffs. So I actually recommend, my best tip for mine is run proxies on him, especially when you're solo queue. Dude, any kind of trap operator in solo queue, it gives you that information that you normally don't get from your teammates when they don't call out. So I would recommend the best way to play Wamai is definitely holding one of those spots where you can get naded a lot, or you can get like it's just where a lot of the heavy traffic is. You want to use those Wamai gadgets to slow down their burn. Even if it's 1 or 2 flashes, it can make a big change for clearing shields. So use that 1.5 on long angles. Don't challenge close up too much unless, you know, you can if you want. But think about it like basement organ. You know, you want to be the one playing those head holes. You don't want to be too close up because you're kind of weak at that point. So my next operator I recommend for you guys is definitely Warden. I would be lying if I didn't say Warden. His ability is literally the 1.5 scope. Dude, I'm telling you, it would be the biggest mistake if Ubisoft took away Warden's 1.5. He would not see the light of day ever again, similar to Oryx. I don't even think Oryx is even picked that much. I think he's picked a lot on console, but on PC, that guy is non-existent anymore. Warden, guys, like, he has the lowest recoil in the game with a 1.5. Got a nitro cell. He's 2-2. He walks funny, bro. He walks like this. He walks like a G, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He reloads and it's like the Drake reload. It's like zesty, walking around like this. You know, it's, I'm not gonna question it, but you know, like it just powers you up. It's like when you play Blackbeard, you just want to peek every angle with Warden. Same thing, bro. I recommend Warden, dude. And another high top one I recommend for you guys are actually old picks, but they're really good. Frost. Frost has a 1.5 scope on her gun, high damage, like 40, you know, decent fire rate. Shotgun. This is extremely important. Shotgun for rotates. Now you don't have to worry too much about having to pick a certain operator just because it rotates. So shotgun is definitely very efficient. And BP, I think BP is better than shield nowadays. Playing behind a shield, I just think shields nowadays are really not, they're not really that good anymore because being stationary is kind of working against you, when especially in this fast-paced meta. You gotta be on your feet, you gotta be able to refrag people. I'm not saying you shouldn't play shields. I'm saying shields are not as effective as they used to be because we're not really in a utility meta as much anymore. And her frost mats, listen, oh, but frost is super predictable. I always shoot under the window. Bro, do you not understand that sometimes in the heat of the moment, some people don't shoot below them? Maybe they're even looking below them. And you can even do on the top of the staircase, you know, maybe even common spots where people are looking at a door. The next thing they know, they're stepping in a frost mat. So watch good players and kind of see where they put those at. And right behind Frost is still Capkin. Yes, I'm saying Capkin because he's just always going to be, no one's really ever going to check doorways. It's going to be, you have to be like, it's very rare. I wouldn't say rare, but it's uncommon for people to always check doorways, especially when you don't know they have a Capkin. Capkin is literally like, if you hit a Capkin trap one time in the round, you're literally slowing down for the rest of the game. Like, you're going to be unconfident about it. So trust me, bro, it's ranked. Like, you guys can't give too much credit to the other team. You know, one Capkin trap can change. Like, I remember this season, actually, we lost the game because 3 of us hit Capkin traps and we all just died. It was pretty tragic. Even without the 1.5, man, I put extendo barrel on him and he's actually super good. Like 38 damage a shot for the SMG, especially when you're hitting headshots, bro. Easy impacts, nitro cell. Like, there's he brings the artillery to the team, is what you need for a big boom. Next up is definitely Legion. I would say Legion because, well, not only because I am him, my own little gaming skin. Again, like, what the importance of traps that I talked to you guys about. Traps are super important nowadays. If you don't have traps, it's literally game changing because you don't know if Ash is walking up yellow, or you don't know if she's walking up a certain staircase. Maybe if you're trying to roam, you know, you can't hold down every single bomb site, or you can't hold down every single path. So it's just good sound cues, man. You hear it, you know, it's really good. Next, Cade, 100%. Cade or Bandit. You know, I want to actually put them together because if you don't have wall denial nowadays, I think wall denial, it had its phase where it was not really needed that much. Remember when Bandit wasn't picked that much because everyone was tricking? Nowadays, though, he's kind of creeped his way back in the meta. I just think because of Ace. Oh, with EMPs as well. With EMPs, you know, secondary EMPs. If used incorrectly, you know. Because remember when Thatcher was always banned? Now everyone has EMP grenades, so that's why people kind of got like a little hesitant on wall denial and kind of like got used to the wall being opened up. But it's really game changing. So I want to put them together because I don't need an explanation. But it's just a big difference. I want you guys to realize this. A tip for you guys: like, think about when you are defending, right? Think about a defense. Think about times where you've lost rounds because you just didn't bring certain operators. You didn't bring wall denial, or maybe no one roamed that round. Or maybe, you know, there was no traps. They walked all over you. So you always want to have a good combination of, let's say like the 5 operators real quick, right? Let's say traps, wall denial. Yeah, that's actually about it. Traps and wall denial. And then last one was like, you know, if you all have like, if you're all a 3 armor, bro, and no one speedy around, you need armor. So My opinion, I think you should just have 2 people that have good guns as the last 2 that can shoot back. You need wall denial. You need a roamer or 2 every single round, and traps. So that's like my formula for the perfect defense. Some honorable mentions, I would say Goyo, Malusi, and Daruni. These are all area denial type of ops. You know, Malusi is just very similar to the trap ops. The only reason I don't really bring her as like a must is because she's a little bit slow, and I think these guys do the job a little bit better. Just that 1 extra speed is really good, but I still like honorable mention. Aruni, I would actually just put her like as a just bring her, bro. Got a DMR 1.5. Guys, a 1.5 DMR on defense is extremely strong, especially for melting enemies. And imagine it like you're like a whip, and you're like whipping back. What's an animal you whip a lot? Maybe like pigs. You remember, like, you know, like imagine they're just getting aggressive, and you're like wham, 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 back, get back. You know, kind of like that type of feel. And then like the gates, obviously, the gates are just a layer of extra protection. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's better to have traps on the door than nothing. And Aruni gates are just, you know, they catch a lot of those situations where they need to walk in or they need to burn. Little things like this, guys, is what makes Siege so good. And now I'm thinking about, and then Goyo, obviously Goyo's got the he's got beepers, impacts, BP. I recommend the Vector because he's a 1.5 on it. And overall, like this 20, I think it's like what, 15 seconds for a fire, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 15 seconds for a fire, maybe even 20. He's really strong for, like, imagine how long those fires last, bro. Imagine all those times where you're like, oh, I can't walk through, hold on team, I'm fired off right now. Honestly, those are, I would say Valkyrie and Mozzie are also honorable mentions, because Valkyrie, I mean, she's Valkyrie, she's information, so if used correctly, she's like those late round information, those early C4 picks, blah blah blah, right? Same thing with Mozzie. If you can get a drone, sick, but even then he has the Roni. Roni is a really headshot machine. I still like the Commando, but yeah, C4, like he's just a info denial roamer. Now, honestly, those are about it. Yeah, like every other operator is just kind of a little too situational nowadays. You can still run them. I guess I'll add Alibi to the honorable mentions because she's Alibi, you know, super high fire rate, speedy. Her gadgets suck now. Observation blocker and all this. I actually have one strat on Reading Cafe. I use her on Reading Cafe. You guys remember when I opened up the floor with footholes, all that kind of stuff. Dude, she's strong, bro. She's strong. And then the bailiff obviously rotates. Those are honorable mentions. I'm looking at everyone else, guys. I love Echo. I love Mira, Doc, but they're just bro. Thunderbird, she literally got nerfed to the ground. Look at her loadout now. It's like, it's just bro. And her heals do like what? How much does her heal do, bro? Give me some information. I think it's like 20 HP now, bro. It's terrible. Anyways, yeah, those are really everyone else. You can like listen, you guys can, at the end of the day, I want you guys to understand, you can play whatever defender you want, because at the end of the day, as long as you're one-shot headshotting them, that's all that matters. But these are the most effective right now, and for the same reason I just explained for all of them. So guys, please listen to this video, share it with your friends, tell them to stop running Rook every single round and dying first, or, you know, going pulse in the basement for a million years. Those are who I recommend. And again, if you guys want to actually get a higher KD in this game and a little bit more games into testosterone, get your Athieno charm at twitch.tv/Athieno. I appreciate you guys for, you know, all the support you guys have been doing lately. But guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and good luck in your ranked games.